Espathra Psyspam was able to get top 4 at the Frankfurt Regional Championship with some really unique partners. We're going to be trying out the team and seeing how well it can perform. But first, let's break down the team. First up, we have the Life Orb Espathra with the Speed Boost ability, which gives a +1 speed boost every single turn, with the Psychic Terror type to power up its psychic moves even further with Expanding Force, Lumina Crash, Dazzling Gleam, Protect. Espathra is definitely an interesting Pokemon. It doesn't have the best stats in the world, however, it's got some decent special attack, pretty good speed, and okay HP, but its defenses aren't exactly great. However, Speed Boost makes this thing a monster, especially with its signature move, Lumina Crash. Lumina Crash is a Psychic type move that has a secondary effect of always being able to lower the target's special defense stat by 2 stages, so it can really go for some really powerful double ups. And that what makes Espathra really threatening is that Lumina Crash combination. And even though it doesn't have the best special attack stat in the world, it does make up for it. And across the board, this Espathra really supposed to be a huge threat because of that speed boost. Allows it to outspeed Pokemon like Sneasler. It matches the Dragonite Scale Shot boost. It can really be a fast offensive threat. The Expanding Force, of course, is going to be powerful with that Life Orb, the Psychic Terrain setup, as well as the Terra Psychic option. It can really just go through teams, and the Dazzling Gleam going to be just the coverage to help out against the Dark type Pokemon. But Espathra going to be a very fast offensive Pokemon that can threaten a lot of damage with the Psychic type moves. Next Pokemon we have is the Rocky Helmet female entity with the Psychic Surge ability to summon the Psychic Terrain with the Dragon Terror type, really good against a lot of the common types like Fire, Water, Grass, Electric, and more, with the Psychic Follow Me, Helping Hand, and Protect. You might notice this is a very interesting entity set where it actually doesn't have Trick Room, and usually entity female in this generation does carry Trick Room, but this one going old school, running Protect instead in order to be able to have Protect next to Espathra, because one of the things about Espathra is you generally want to Protect immediately so you can get that speed boost and guarantee outspeed some threats. So that would leave the entity vulnerable in some cases if you do go for the lead. So you do want to have Protect so they aren't going to get some free momentum by getting some free damage to entity, for example. But across the board, it is able to do a lot of damage with the Psychic thanks to the Psychic Terrain boost. And then Follow Me and Helping Hand going to be really good support moves where you're redirecting your opponent's attacks from the frail Espathra, and the Helping Hand is going to allow for some really big KOs. EV spread wise, it's a pretty simple entity. It's pretty much a near max physical defense entity with a little bit extra special defense, but across the board, it's really just going to be able to help out your allies. Next Pokemon we have is the Psychic Seed Sneasler with the Unburden boost, which doubles its speed when its held item is consumed, and that Psychic Seed is consumed immediately upon Psychic Terrain, and does give it a +1 special defense boost with the Dark Terror type to help power up its Drill Chop mainly, so it can do more damage in the Golden Go, but also can be a good defensive type against opposing Psychic type attacks with Dire Claw, Close Combat, Drill Chop, and Protect. It's a pretty standard Psyspam Sneasler. The combination, of course, the fighting and the psychic coverage is pretty strong alongside that Dark type option to be able to hit Pokemon like Golden Go that is able to resist both or be immune to that fighting type attacks. So it really is just able to round out and really allow for some pretty powerful pin situations. The EV spread, it is going to be a pretty offensive Sneasler. 236 with an adamant nature does allow the Sneasler to get an extra stat in its attack, with 236 speed allows it to outspeed Pokemon like Garchomp, for example, and then the rest is more optimized for having to live the Scale Shot from Dragonite if they only get a 4-hit attack. So that's the idea of the Sneasler, just really powerful attacks combined with the Espathra with that speed boost. It really is just able to outspeed your opponents and threaten those pin knockouts. Next Pokemon we have is the Safety Goggles Hydreigon with the Levitate ability, making it immune to the ground type attacks with the Ghost Terror type for fighting type moves, but also just allows you to be immune to the regular Ursaluna attacks because most of them just run ground and normal coverage, and of course Levitate making you immune to the ground type attacks, while the Ghost typing just allows you to be immune to the normal type attack Facade. So that's a really powerful Hydreigon that's able to do really well into the balanced teams with Draco Meteor, Snarl, Taunt, and Protect. This Hydreigon is specifically designed to be really good into the Ursaluna Trick Room teams like the Ursaluna Porygon 2 stuff, because you do have that taunt option to be able to prevent them from going for Trick Room. You have that Safety Goggles to be ignorant of the Amoonguss out there that could support the Golden Go or the Porygon 2 from setting up. And then Snarl, of course, to lower the special attack on the Golden Go. It's a super effectively, does a decent chunk. Draco Meteor able to do good amounts of damage as well, especially to the Incineroar and Rillaboom that aren't able to do much to the Hydreigon naturally. And yeah, it's just able to do really well into those specific cores with 212 HP, 4 defense, 12 special defense, 28 special attack, and max speed with a timid nature. Now, the Hydreigon still runs a good amount of speed because there are some opposing Hydreigons in the format, so you want to be able to outspeed those. But there are also some cases where you still want to just outspeed stuff guaranteed, like the Annihilapes, anything like the Hisui Typhlosions. Yeah, just being able to outspeed pretty much anything around that speed range is pretty nice. So you just run max speed, and because this Hydreigon isn't meant to be doing a ton of damage, it's more for support, it wants to stick around, yeah, you're going to invest more into bulk. I'm not sure if the special attack or special defense does anything specific, maybe with Lumina Crash combinations as well from the Espathra for the Draco Meteor, but across the board, this Hydreigon is going to be more of a support Pokemon that could be very disruptive into really strong common balance teams. Next Pokemon we have is the Hisui Arcanine with the Mirror Herb item, which is able to copy the stat changes of one of your opponent's Pokemon when it goes for a setup move, with the Intimidate ability, which is able to lower the attack of all Pokemon on the opposing side of the field, with the Water Terror type, a good defensive type in general, especially against super effective water type moves while still resisting fire and ice coverage, with Flare Blitz, Rock Slide, Close Combat, and Protect. Hisui Arcanine is definitely an interesting pickup that has kind of trended more towards the end of Regulation H, and it kind of makes sense because of specifically a few Pokemon such as the Volcarona, which can be a little bit annoying, as well as being able to hit Dragonite for a ton of damage because of the rock coverage. So it's been pretty solid there, and you have like Flare Blitz for really strong fire coverage, and then the close combat's able to hit the steel types like the King Gambit, the Archaludons, and more, and it can also hit Blood Moon Ursaluna, which is nice. This Hisui Arcanine is definitely an interesting EV spread, so it is running max speed with a Jolly Nature. You want to have at least be able to A, outspeed Golden Goes guaranteed, B, be able to just speed tie Annihilate at the worst case possible, because you do sometimes want to use this Hisui Arcanine to help out against Annihilate, and there are quite a few things that you can do with it. So the HP investment is 180, which does give it some maximum grassy terrain recovery that the Hisui Arcanine does have access to, as well as an odd HP stat. And then the 12 defense, this combination does allow you to live a close combat from Jolly Sneasler after it's been intimidated, pretty much almost guaranteed. It's like a 6.3% chance to KO, which are pretty good odds for you. So across the board, the fact that you're able to survive, that's pretty important. Then you have the rest going into attack and special defense. But yeah, the Hisui Arcanine able to survive that attack, and then with the Mirror Herb, because you use it for stuff like Scale Shot Dragonite, because you can copy the speed boost, you could copy like a Volcarona Quiver Dance in some cases. So depending on the Volcarona spread, you could still outspeed them and go for the Rock Slide, and you also get the special defense boost as well, which can be helpful. But mainly it's going to be for the Defiant Pokemon like the King Gambit and the Annihilate, because you're able to intimidate them, get a +2 attack boost to the Hisui Arcanine. Then it becomes a massive threat, right? Because of the fact that most Annihilapes are going to be like Terra Fire generally to avoid getting burned. So the fact that if they go for Terra Fire to avoid taking super effective damage from your Psychic type moves, then the Arcanine is able to pin them with a +2 Rock Slide potentially. So that is going to be like one key factor, which does allow this Arcanine to put in a lot of work. And again, you can still go for like really powerful Flare Blitzes and close combats at the +2s. This Hisui Arcanine set is definitely interesting because it's not like an immediate damage dealer, but it can set up to be very helpful against certain Pokemon. Final Pokemon on the team is going to be the Assault Vest King Gambit with the Define ability, which gives it a +2 attack raise whenever one of its stats is dropped with the Flying Terror type to help out against super effective fighting and ground type moves, while also giving it access to the Terra Flying Terra Blast with the Kowtow Cleave, Sucker Punch, Low Kick, and Terra Blast. So Assault Vest King Gambit's really cool. It's just able to really just be able to tank attacks because King Gambit has really good HP and physical defense already. It's already got a decent special defense, and then with the Assault Vest to just pair it up and make it even bulkier is really incredible. So it's really hard to be able to knock out this King Gambit, especially with Terrestrialization covering for its defensive typings, and then is able to do a ton of damage, right? You can't slow it down with Intimidate because of the Define ability, and then it could go for some really powerful attacks. Yeah, this Pokemon can just chip away, stall out some stuff like the Trick Room turns, because it can be good at absorbing stuff like the Psychic Terrain, Expanding Forces from like Hatterene and more, while threatening the Entity, and you're able to kind of stick around on the field for a few turns because of the natural bulk on the King Gambit. It actually gives you like a good pivot as well. So across the board, it can be very helpful into opposing Psyspam too. And then the Terraflying Terra Blast just able to do a ton of damage into Pokemon like the Rillaboom, opposing Sneasler, and more. It is definitely a Pokemon that can just sit there and do a lot. And then Sucker Punch as well can be a threat. Even though this is a Psychic Terrain team and you do have that Psyspam option, yeah, you can still go for the Sucker Punch in a lot of cases. Key spread wise, you do have max HP, 220 attack with an adamant nature, 12 defense, 20 special defense, and 4 speed. I'm not exactly too sure on like what the general idea of like the extra into defenses are, but across the board it is a Kingambit that is going to be investing a lot of attack, so it does a ton of damage, right? It's still going to have a lot of bulk because it is max HP. You have the Assault Vest, good natural physical defense across the board. Yeah, it's just going to be a Pokemon that sticks around and does a good amount of damage. That is what it's designed to do. So how to use the team across the board. This team definitely has some interesting leads compared to the other teams out there, but it is mainly about just getting some really good offensive damage, usually using the Espathra and the Sneasler, trying to find pins that way. Or you could also go with just chipping them because you do have to support Hydreigon, the Intimidate bulk from the Hisui Arcanine with the Mirror Herb that can be useful to actually set up your own Arcanine, and of course your own Kingambit that can just do a ton of damage and stick around on the field. So there are a lot of different leads that you could really go for with this team, which are a bit unconventional because different kinds of Pokemon. So not like these standard balance teams out there or like a lot of common toolkits that you have. You have stuff like the Espathra plus Entity, of course, if they don't have a Rillaboom, because you have that Psychic Terrain, Expanding Force, Lumen to Crash, a lot of options there. You can lead the Espathra plus Sneasler if they do have a Rillaboom, and then play mind games of like, okay, which one is going to switch into Rillaboom? Maybe pin it on a switch with the Sneasler or a double up, or you switch into Entity, go for Expanding Force, or switch into Entity. So Sneasler gets the Unburden boost, so it outspeeds something and then threatens a knockout into it. Yeah, there are a lot of options there. Hydreigon can just lead in general because especially into those like slower paced teams, it really is able to be disruptive to Snarl and the Taunt options, especially next to like Hisui Arcanine, for example, or maybe you go for a more offensive route with like Hydreigon next to Sneasler or Hydreigon plus Espathra. I think that also works too. Hisui Arcanine can just lead in general with a lot of Pokemon. Espathra plus Hisui Arcanine, so it can drop that Intimidate across the board. Sneasler plus Arcanine actually is a pretty fast duo, so it can do a ton of damage there. And of course, Kingambit can kind of just lead with anything because it will just stick around on the field, thanks again to its natural bulk as well as that Assault Vest, to do a ton of damage. And of course, scare away the Intimidate or take advantage if they do bring in the Intimidate, so you can get the Define boost. You can lead it next to the Sneasler, the Hisui Arcanine, the Hydreigon, or the Espathra, and it will put in a good amount of work, especially with the Sucker Punch combinations that you could go for if you're not leading the Entity immediately. If you would like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. And let me know in the comments down below, what Gen 9 Pokemon do you think had potential that we haven't really seen too much of? Because Espathra has definitely been something I've looked over several times throughout like the early regulations, and it has had some tournament success, but it's never really had super deep runs other than I think this one. So let me know if you think there are any hidden gems available out there that we haven't tried out, but let us get started and play some games. All right, we have Indeedee, Hatterene, Torkoal, Ursaluna, Sneasler, and the Rabasca. So this is a Trick Room team. This team isn't really that amazing against Trick Room. We do have Taunt Hydreigon, which can be decent, but they do have a Hatterene, so that's gonna be difficult. At least both their Trick Room setters are weak against Arcanine, which is a good thing, but yeah, this is definitely gonna be a tough one. I think I'm definitely leading Arcanine at the very least. Arcanine's really good here. I think Arcanine plus Kingambit is really good. Kingambit's really strong against their team other than against the Ursaluna and the Torkoal, of course, but at least we have the Assault Vest with the Kingambit, which is nice. Back-wise, this is going to get tricky. I think I do like Hydreigon in this. Hydreigon is pretty strong, I'd say, because it does have the dark typing. The dragon typing is also really strong here. And then what's my last? Is it Indeedee or is it Espathra? It might be Indeedee. Trying to think. Espathra's nice for a potential end game against the Sneasler if they bring the Sneasler, because I am bringing 3 fighting weeks right now. I do plan to probably terrestrialize my Kingambit. I think it's either Espathra or Indeedee. I want to say it's probably the Indeedee because the redirection seems so valuable in this matchup, and I mean so valuable. And by the time I get Espathra in, it's probably going to be like they lead Indeedee, Psychic Terrain's over, and then it's like, okay, what am I supposed to do there? So I don't think it's worth it. So we're going to see Sneasler Hatterene, which is an interesting lead, but I think this works out pretty well for me as I do lead my Kingambit and my Arcanine. So close combat after an Intimidate will definitely not KO, and I was all right with terrestrializing my Kingambit in the start of this game. So I don't know if they're going to have fake out or not. We're going to reveal it, I suppose. I'm just going to go for my rock slide immediately. We can get a flinch on the King Gambit. Of course, this could be like fake out Sneasler as well, I suppose. I'd assume it's just Drill Chop Psychic Seed for the Golden Goes. But yeah, we're going to go for Kowtow here for damage into the Hatterene. We need to start getting the damage in Hatterene. And it's like if Sneasler stays on the field and they go for Trick Room, the Sneasler's not really doing much, right? So I don't think it's that big of a deal if Sneasler stays in. I'd rather just get the Rock Slide and the Kowtow damage immediately. I don't have Iron Head, unfortunately. If I had Iron Head, I would go for the Iron Head into the Hatterene, though it might be Terra Water. It could be Terra Fire too. I don't know what Hatterenes run anymore, Terrasolized wise. I'm going to go for Kowtow because it's usually not Terra Fairy, so I should be doing a bit more damage than Terra Blast, which I guess could cover for Terrasolization options. I'm just hoping for some good damage in the Hatterene, as they probably either Trick Room, Close Combat, or something. Maybe Protect Close Combat, but I kind of doubt it. We do see a Terrasolization come out. This is probably Terra Water Hatterene, I imagine? Hatterene Terras... Oh, Fire Terra. Okay, so if they don't KO the Arcanine, the Arcanine's in a really good spot to click a Rock Slide here for damage. They go straight for the Close Combat. Wait, that's huge for me. That is huge for me. They went for Close Combat. They lowered their defenses. I get a free Rock Slide. Please hit both. Okay, nice. That did a lot less to Hatterene than I expected, actually. What? Is this going to lift the Kowtow? No shot. Yeah, okay. That is shocking that it did the Rock Slide. That's a Terrifier Rock Slide. That did a lot. We're not intimidated. What the heck? Why did that do nothing? All right, but we take it though. We got pretty much the best turn of KOing their Trick Room Setter, and their Terrasization's gone. Ursaluna gonna come in, which is absolutely fine. We're gonna go out into our... I think we just go out into Indeedee, or we could go Hydreigon. Both work. I kind of like going Indeedee more because I don't want to risk Hydreigon potential Close Combat. And I'm going to go for my Terra Blast into the Sneasler because I don't want Dire Claws really affecting this game. And I still have like 2 Pokemon that are weak to fighting. And yeah, I think that's worth it. Like the Ursaluna can't really punish the Kingambit unless it's a surprise tech because it is a flying type right now. Facade, while not burned, isn't going to do much. They go straight for the Dire Claw immediately. And they get the Poison Touch, which I'm okay with. That's a lot better than a potential Sleep or Paralysis right here, as we are going to be able to KO the Sneasler with the Terra Blast. So nice. And they went for a Headlong Rush. They lowered their defenses and they take the Rocky Helmet damage. So that's pretty good for me. Like, I will happily take that. So that is nice damage. We're going to see Headlong Rush. Okay, that's perfect. They weaken their defenses. The Indeedee takes a decent chunk, but we are able to chip away at the Ursaluna a bit. And now we should be able to Revenge KO Ursaluna very easily in the end game. What the question is what the last Pokemon is. If it's Indeedee, I probably go for Kowtow Psychic double up into it in case it's Focus Sash. If it's confirmed like Psychic Seed, I'll just go for Helping Hand Kowtow. We're going to see Indeedee come out. It's Psychic Seed. Beautiful. And they can't Terrasilize anymore, so we can go for Helping Hand Kowtow, knock it out, and that will ensure the Ursaluna doesn't get Trick Room up. Or it'll ensure that we don't have to play against Ursaluna under Trick Room. So we go for Helping Hand, and we go for Kowtow Cleave, and that'll knock out the Indeedee. So very nice start. Okay. Very nice start. Unless it's Ursaluna Kingambit Speed Tie and they go for Facade, but I'd be kind of shocked if that's the case. But we'll find out, I suppose, because I already moved first. Yeah, we get the Helping Hand Kowtow Cleave off into Indeedee, pick up the knockout, and that's game. Because even if Ursaluna gets a knockout here, even if it's a double knockout, they have like Rock Slide for some reason, we're fine. They go for Facade, they knock out the Kingambit. Kingambit goes down, but now I get a free switch. What do I want to go out into? Arcanine or Hydreigon? I think I should always go Hydreigon, right? Because the Intimidate doesn't change any calcs, I'm pretty sure. I don't think Hydreigon lists Facade at -1. Maybe it does, because this is a bulky Hydreigon. But the thing is, if I go Arcanine, they can go for a Earthquake, right? So I shouldn't ever do that. I think I just go for Psychic, actually, and I just go for Draco Meteor. Yeah. Because if I hit one Draco Meteor, I'm in a good spot, and I do hit the Draco Meteor, and otherwise, like, I get a Psychic off, which is pretty good. Wow, that Ursaluna taking the Draco Meteor at -1. I guess, like, even though it's chipped, that this Hydreigon doesn't have that much investment, but yeah, I think the Psychic just put, like, the Ursaluna into range of Flare Blitz anyway, especially after some burn ticks, so yeah, I don't think I have to really worry about that. So that is a very nice win to kick things off here. Very nice one to start things off. But yeah, we have the Excalibur, Dondozo, Kingambit, Rillaboom, Sneasler, Volcarona. And it's like one of these teams that rely on Dondozo, which is never fun. The Kingambit is Swords Dance, so it shouldn't be too problematic. The Terra Flying Kingambit does really well here. I just got to worry about Excalibur. Excalibur is kind of annoying. What would I want to lead in this situation? I could lead the Sneasler immediately. Sneasler's pretty good here. Sneasler plus Kingambit's looking pretty promising. I could Expanding Force through their team, but they are definitely bringing the Kingambit, right? Which is a little bit sus here if I bring it. Terrain's nice though against this team. I think just Hisui Arcanine's really good here. I think I just go with Sneasler. I think I bring Kingambit. I think I definitely bring Arcanine. The question is, am I bringing Indeedee or am I bringing the Espathra? The Psychic Terrain's nice for the double fake out, but and dealing with Sucker Punch on their side. I really like the Espathra though. Because I think if I get rid of the Kingambit early, Espathra is really good against their team, especially like Lumina Crash angles. So I think it's worth bringing. Like, I don't think it's too bad. I brought solo Espathra when I've tried out this team a bit before, so we'll see. We're going to see Kingambit Dondozo, which is perfectly fine lead-wise here, as I do lead the Sneasler Kingambit. All right. They should know I have low kick, but I'm going to... Like, are you going to Terrasilize the Kingambit immediately? It doesn't really do much in this situation regardless. The Dondozo should only be like Wave Crashes, its attacking move. I think I'm just going to go for a Dire Claw and a Dondozo immediately, and maybe just go for a Kowtow. I don't really have a good switch, so yeah, I'd rather just double it up. Kingambit's going to protect, makes sense. I have a Sneasler and a Kingambit out on there against them, so I get good damage in Dondozo, chip it away for maybe a Espathra later, so that's very pleasant. No status on the Dondozo, unfortunately, but I get some pretty good damage there, as you can see, and they go for Yawn, so this is perfect. I had a feeling that they were going to maybe go for Yawn, and this is the perfect situation for it. Now I've gotten some pretty big damage in Dondozo, probably puts in Espathra range realistically, so yeah, I am pretty happy about that. I'm never risking Arcanine, so I think here I have a few different options. I could go for Close Combat to Kingambit. I could go for Dire Claw if I want to read a Terra. I could also Protect here, which isn't too bad. I don't really want to give them free momentum, so I think I kind of want to play aggressive. I could take the Sleep turn with Kingambit and go for like Close Combat Kowtow to cover for a Terra Ghost. I don't know what the Kingambits run anymore, but I think my play here, I'm just going to Close Combat swap to Espathra, I think. If they Terrasilize the Kingambit into Ghost, that's fine. If they Terra into Poison, they have to respect the Indeedee potential of switching in, because they don't know I bring Arcanine 100%. We do see a Terrasalization come out from my opponent, so I imagine this is Kingambit always. Yep. It is Terra Ghost, so at least my Kingambit will be really good against them, but dealing with this Kingambit is still going to be a pain to deal with. As we go for Close Combat into the Kingambit, as they go for Swords Dance, that's understandable. This is why I kind of wanted Indeedee potentially in the back, but yeah, this is a bit tricky now. They go for Yawn, okay. Alright. Dondozo's still really awkward, but I think this is doable. I kind of want to just go back into Kingambit for the Sneasler slot and maybe protect the Espathra. Protect the Espathra might be a bit obvious though. Should I go on the aggressive and just double up the Kingambit? I'm a bit worried that they go for Kowtow Yawn into Sneasler, but I think they might also just do that into Espathra even if the protect is obvious. We'll bring back Kingambit. They retreat Dondozo, so this is really good. I don't take a Yawn situation. Is this their own Sneasler? Rillaboom. Okay, so that's perfectly fine. Maybe they thought I was going to bring in Indeedee and click Expanding Force. So this is really good, actually. Yeah, this is really good. As we protect our Espathra, as they go for a Sucker Punch. Okay, yeah, because they were worried about the Expanding Force. Right. Okay. But this is really good of a situation right here, I'd say. They're going to fake out my Kingambit, but they might also like mind game themselves because they don't know that I have Arcanine in the back. They might think I have Indeedee. So this is really good potentially. I like the idea of going for a Kowtow and a Kingambit and just going out in a Sneasler. They might protect the King Gambit, swap out Rillaboom, which is fine for me, I think. Because then I threaten the King Gambit with a double up. Wow, no fake outs because of the entity read. Okay, nice. Can we get a big Sucker Punch or Kowtow? Okay, they're fast King Gambit. They get a Kowtow off. It does no damage. That's +2. Wow, that really did nothing. As we get a Kowtow on the Gambit. Really good damage there. Feeling pretty good about our situation right now, as we gotten good damage into King Gambit, and now we're putting on a lot of pressure. So they have a few plays with the King Gambit. They can protect, of course. They can throw off Sucker Punches. Nothing's really set in stone yet. I kind of like the idea of just going for a Kowtow to King Gambit and maybe just Dire Claw to Rillaboom. Because the Rillaboom, if it has no bulk, will go down to Dire Claw. Sneaser's not like too important in this matchup either. Like, sure, there's Excalibur, but I do have Arcanine in the back. And if I get rid of King Gambit, I'm just in a really good spot. Dire Claw might knock out the Rillaboom, and I don't think Grassy Glide will KO my Sneasler. We saw Woodhammer barely do like a little bit over half. So I think I just Dire Claw and I Kowtow. They Sucker Punch my Sneasler to take it out, which is fine. I don't need Sneasler anymore. Sneasler was the least useful. I did get a crit. I don't think that matters, although the damage they did to my King Gambit was pretty not great, so maybe. But high horsepower comes out, shouldn't KO King Gambit. Does do a lot though, but I can't terrestrialize. We do get the Kowtow off into the King Gambit slot, and now I'd say we're in a pretty good spot. Offensively. Okay. Get more grassy terrain. What's the last Pokemon? Do I want to go Arcanine or do I want to go Espathra? Espathra's better if Dondozo comes out, but of course I could just go for terrestrialization if necessary. They can't terrestrialize themselves. I think it's probably Arcanine. Because I also get intimidated at Dondozo, and if they go like Excalibur or Sneasler, it still works. Yeah, Excalibur. Okay, perfect. Okay, that's a really, really nice Pokemon to see there, because the Excalibur doesn't threaten any damage. So Flare Blitz should knock out the Rillaboom, I'd imagine. I can get a free double up into the Rillaboom potentially, or I could go for like a low kick into Excalibur if I think. I think Excalibur should go down to low kick if they decide to go for Scale Shot here. I could also double up the Rillaboom in case I think Dondozo's coming in, and that's kind of what I'm thinking here. Even if I get to play wrong, I don't think it's that bad. So, you know what? Let's go for Kowtow. Let's go for Flare Blitz. I don't think Excalibur can do anything to my Arcanine at this moment. I think they should always retreat Rillaboom into Dondozo, and they should probably protect the Excalibur. But even if they do that, I still think I'm in a good spot because I get some good damage in Dondozo with Kowtow Flare Blitz. And then maybe I can knock it out with Flare Blitz Rock Slide. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. The Flare Blitz is going to come out into Dondozo. Decent damage. Like, that's going to negate the leftovers and the grassy terrain. And then we get the Kowtow off into the Dondozo as well. Beautiful. And my King Gambit should outspeed the Dozo. The Excalibur should have no way to knock out the King Gambit. I don't think high horsepower would even knock out Gambit at this range. And it should be like Scale Shot, Ice Shard, Icicle Spear. So I don't think I'm too worried about that. I think we're just going to go for Kowtow. Dozo protects here, right? Because the obvious play is to Kowtow there. I think it's just go for Kowtow and Rock Slide. It might be into the Excalibur slot though, because I could see Rillaboom coming in. Is that too aggressive of a play? I think if they want to get out of this game alive, they should go Rillaboom. I guess this isn't too bad of a risk either. I'm going to Flare Blitz Kowtow. They do retreat the Excalibur into Rillaboom, and I imagine protect Dondozo. And even if they don't, Flare Blitz should KO the Rillaboom. Then the Kowtow gets redirected into Dozo. So I'm fine with that either way. Yeah. Okay. I thought like this was their only out because they were probably trying to read a Rock Slide Kowtow. Now I catch them on guard. And even like if Excalibur stayed in, it's still not doing crazy amounts of damage. I don't even think +1 Excalibur from Thermal Exchange would knock out my King Gambit. So yeah, they got hard red there, and or not hard red. I felt like it was still a decently safe play for me, but I did call them out, and yeah, it was like a perfect situation. So very nice. All right, we have the same team. Okay. So at least we know it's Terra Ghost on the King Gambit this time, which is pretty valuable information. All right, I think I still go with King Gambit plus. Do I bring Espathra? Or did I bring Entity this time? I don't know. I think Espathra could have been really good. Because it's like really good into Dondozo if I play it correctly. But having that Psychic Terrain can be so valuable. And I mean so valuable. I definitely want to do King Gambit plus Sneasler again. It's a pretty good lead against them. I like Arcanine in the back. The question is, am I bringing Entity or am I bringing Espathra? Like, both are decent here. I kind of like Espathra because I'm not guaranteed to get immediate damage in Dondozo. As much as I love the Entity here, I think it's fine. All right, let's see how this is going to go. Let's see how this is going to go. Definitely could be different here. Definitely could be very different. However, pretty okay with like any situation. Baek's Caliber is perfectly... Well, actually, that's not that great. Okay, King Gambit plus the Sneasler on my side. All right, this is a very different lead approach here. It should be Sash Sneasler on this team. I don't know where they're going to go for attacks. So I want a Terra Flying immediately. If I Terra Flying, it's not great, but I think it's probably manageable. I kind of want to go for the Terra Flying Terra Blast or the Low Kick potentially into the backs. Or maybe Kata on the backs because it's Terra Ghost. All right, I got a Terra Blast and I got to swap to Arcanine. I hope I made it in. Oh, I didn't get the switch. All right. They do Terra the Back's Caliber into Ghost. Oh, dude, this might be Flare Blitz in the backs, and that could be really bad. If it's Rock Slide, it might not be terrible. But I wanted to switch into Arcanine there. I'm pretty sure that I'm getting like a Close Combat or Dire Claw off. I don't remember what I put as my first move into the backs, which is really bad. If I double the Sneasler, it might not be too bad, but we'll see. Terra Flying. You go for Close Combat. Is this a double up with the what's it called, the Icicle Spear? Because that's why I wanted to go Arcanine, because I felt like it was pretty safe to get Arcanine Intimidate in. Yeah, I go for the Dire Claw. It's not a great spot. We got a Poison. A Sleep would have bailed us out, but okay. Yeah, that's why I wanted to go Arcanine, although I might not have lived this either. I don't know, the Close Combat wouldn't have done that much, and the Icicle Spears are doing a lot less. I think we could have lived a 4-hit guaranteed. A 5-hitter, a little bit rough, but you know, this might not be terrible still. Like, King Gambit was really good, sure, in this matchup, but like, it's not necessary to win. Okay. It would have made it a lot easier though. I will say that. We can go into Arcanine here for the Intimidate, because I kind of need the Intimidate, I think. Because I can't really give King Gambit the Intimidate, I guess. Throat Chop would knock out the backs. I think I double out my Arcanine to go out in Espathra, and I think I go for a Throat Chop into Back's Caliber and hope that Throat Chop's enough to take the KO. Yeah, like the turn one, unfortunately, I did time out and it was just bad. Like, I was hesitating on like what the move was, and I thought I got it in, but I was 1 second too late. I did go for Ice Shard into Arcanine, which is interesting. Plus Close Combat. Yeah, I should take this okay. Yeah, Espathra takes it all right. I might be in Rillaboom range, but that's all right. And here comes a Throat Chop into the backs. It doesn't take the KO, but it will put in Poison, which is good. All right. So not awful, because I still have Intimidate in the back for Dondozo. I need to Intimidate a Sneasler anyway, but yeah, this is obviously not an ideal situation. Dondozo comes in. I think the Protect is so obvious, but I don't know if they're going to coaching to pin it, to read it. What can I even do in this situation? I think I need to protect the Espathra, and I think I need a Dire Claw status into the Sneasler, or I need to at least break Sash. Like, this is so obvious, but I don't know like what else I can really do. Yeah, they went for coaching. I could have doubled up the Sneasler. That's really bad too. But let's see if we can get a status like a Paralysis or Sleep. That would be big. That does so much damage. Okay, that's something. That's something. That actually might help us build up momentum. They went for Liquidation to Espathra. Wait, that's actually really good for me. I thought they were going to go for damage into Sneasler. Okay. Wait, we might have something here. Because I can go for Lumina, crash into Dundozo, do a lot of damage plus Dire Claw. If they protect, I'd be surprised because I don't know if they, unless they want a free switch, I guess. Burn a sleep turn. But yeah, we're going to go for Dire Claw and we're going to go for the Lumina crash. Special defense fall, but it's not like that big of a deal. The thing is, I just don't see how I'm breaking through Dundozo without some status here. Like, unfortunately, I've gotten 2 Dire Claw statuses so far, which has been lucky, but this is enough. That's a lot of damage, actually. Okay. Liquidation. I still don't even think this is that bad because I do have my Hisui Arcanine, which is still pretty good, but I have no idea what the last Pokemon is. It might be Rillaboom or it might be King Gambit. And I need to know before I Terrasilize, because I Terrasilize Arcanine to get in like let's say I Terrasilize Arcanine here and it's Rillaboom. It's really bad. If I Terrasilize and if I don't Terrasilize and it's like King Gambit, then I could lose the Hisui Arcanine. So this is really a weird situation. I think my best play is just to protect and go for a Dire Claw again. Because if I get if I get a status on Dundozo, it can help, and I might have to go for Terrasalization anyway. They might go for Yawn or protect. Okay. Do I have to Terra Water? I think I am forced to Terra Water, unfortunately. Like I can go for Dire Claw plus Rock Slide and give myself better odds this way. Yeah, I think that's what I need to do. The thing is, do you double up Espathra if you think, I don't know, like, do you double Espathra or coaching liquidation if you think it's, if you don't have King Gambit or Rillaboom back? Well, I guess, oh wait, I did use my Terrasalization, right? I used it on my King Gambit turn 1. I can't Terrasilize anyway. All right, yeah, we just got to go for a Rock Slide Dire Claw. I thought I had my Terrasalization for a sec, but I realized I used it turn 1. Dire Claw. Go! Okay, nothing. Rock Slide. Flinch. I need something here because I need a turn. Like, I really need the turn. Unless liquidation. I survive liquidation. Okay, no. And I don't think I'm living this. Yeah. If it's Rillaboom back, I lose anyway. Because even though Dire Claw could maybe knock out the Rillaboom, it wouldn't be too much. But yeah, like the turn 1 was just so bad, right? Like, if I get the switch, it's like doable. If I don't get it, it's like really bad. It was Rillaboom, so I did go for my best odds of going for the Dire Claws plus the Rock Slides. Is there a way I could win this? I doubt it. I guess I'll play for the win con anyway, but by protecting, because I got to stall out Fake Out plus Yawn here, they're going to get 2 turns of recovery right now, and I just don't see how I'm winning this. Fake Out going to come out. Like, I think I need a high horsepower miss from Rillaboom. Wait, they go for liquidation. Why? You should always Yawn there. You should always Yawn there. I think I'm still going to lose regardless. Because Dire Claw won't knock out the Rillaboom, but I think I go for it anyway. Like, if they don't go for Yawn, I hope they liquidation again, then I can Dire Claw them. Yeah, I don't think Dire Claw knocks out Rillaboom if they have bulk. They went for Woodhammer, which is interesting. Wow, that did so much. Okay, I was about to say, there's no way it does that much. But yeah, now I just lose guaranteed unless they go for Yawn and don't protect the next turn. And then I close Combat Crit, which I don't even think knocks out Dozo after the leftovers Grassy Terrain. Now they Yawn for some reason, but okay. Yeah, I don't think a mega close Combat Crit knocks out Dundozo. How much did my Dire Claws were doing decent damage, but I don't think close Combat Crit is enough. But yeah, a lot of it just came down to, I think, the turn 1 just timing out on my Sneasler, because I didn't really need the Dire Claw into the Excalibur, because I had, like, if I kept King Gambit around, if I got the damage into the Sneasler, it would have been pretty nice. But yeah, like having a King Gambit that could stick around to take a hit would have been very nice. Yeah, they do go for the protect, and then yeah, it's a cooked game because I go to sleep, won't have any sleep turns built. They go for liquidation, take the knockout. So unfortunate. Like, I do think you have to make a lot of more aggressive calls against this because the Dundozo is just really annoying. And yeah, Excalibur lead was not what I was expecting, especially because, like, They didn't bring King Gambit, which was interesting because of the fact that I could have just expanding force through their team. Granted, they still have Rillaboom, but if I bait them, they get into a really bad spot by like doubling the entity in some situations. There's definitely some cases, but definitely an interesting approach to the matchup. For sure. Again, it just came down to turn one. It did come down a lot to turn one. All right, we got Volcarona, Rillaboom, Incineroar, Sneasler, Dragonite, and Ursaluna Blood Moon. Sure, okay. Don't want to go here. Hisui Arcanine's really good. Like, it intimidates 4 of their mons unless it's Inner Focus Dragonite, and Rocksight's really good against Volcarona. So I do like the Hisui Arcanine a lot, and I do like King Gambit a lot. Terra Flying Terra Blast does a lot of pressure. I think Hydreigon's kind of useless. Sneasler's okay. It's not necessary. It's decent though. Espathra plus Entity might be really good, but I gotta watch out because what I'm bringing is weak to Incineroar. But I think I don't mind. You know what? I'm gonna lead Espathra, I think. Do I want to lead Espathra? It's weird because I think the optimal is just King Gambit, Entity, Sneasler, but I think I could see an angle with this. I think I am gonna do Espathra plus Arcanine, King Gambit plus Entity in the back. There's just something that I feel like I can do with King Gambit back and be able to pivot around, which is pretty nice. I think, like, for instance, I can maybe double out into King Gambit if they lead Incineroar, which I don't know if they lead Incineroar because of the King Gambit that's threatening, but I'm not 100%. I could definitely see like Dragonite plus Sneasler or Dragonite plus Blood Moon Ursaluna. I don't think we're gonna see Volcarona. If we do, I'd be kind of surprised, but let's see. I do like the speed boost of Espathra to help with the Dragonite so I can chip it away a bit, but we'll see. We're gonna see Sneasler Ursaluna. Okay, yeah. Versus Espathra and the Hisui Arcanine. So I don't think this is a bad lead, and I think it's actually not. Yeah, this is not a bad lead at all. So I have mind games here. I could go into Entity, click Expanding Force, do a ton of damage, which is 100% valid. I could go for a Double Protect here. I don't think this is set up Blood Moon, so I think I'd probably just prefer to Double Protect here. So I think I am going to go for Double Protect. Because there's a chance that they... Well, you can't really double Narilla, right? Because if... Unless you're going to go for the Blood Moon slot, but like, what's that going to do? I still think that would be pretty bad. So turn 1, Double Protect, get the Speed Boost active. If they go for Coaching or Swords Dance, that would be a bit crazy. Wait, is this the... No. Wait, is this the team? Blood Moon protects. Oh, it's not a Soul Fest. Oh, it's Throat Chop. Okay. If it's Throat Chop, that means Terra Dark usually. You're intimidated though, so you have to Terra Dark to KO. Weird seeing Terra Dark on this team. I mean, I think the play is to go into the Expanding Force, because if Expanding Force damage is meant for these Pokemon specifically, I guess it would have helped to have Dragonite around, but yeah, I think I go for Expanding Force here. Expanding Force plus Swap seems pretty good to me, unless they go Rilla and just click Throat Chop. If they Terra Dark, it's kind of an interesting spot. I don't mind if they Terra Dark. It's not ideal, but I think I'm all right with that, because then I think... That's not like a super necessary Terra for me to deal with in this matchup. So we bring out Entity. Let's see what they go for. Maybe they're Stellar Terra too. They could go for Stellar Terra. Okay, nope. Expanding Force comes out. Huge damage. Oh, if I Terra Psychic Digest-Oko to Ursaluna, that might have been worth it. Is this Hyper Voice plus Throat Chop, or is this Earth Power? Throat Chop. Oh, that's really good. Okay. Why'd you crit? Because my play was to switch out the Entity the next turn. Okay, that's bad. That's really bad. Granted, it's not like a losing thing, but that is a pretty bad turn. It's Sash, so it's probably Unburden. I just go for Rock Slide. I go for Protect here. Close Combat won't knock me out. They can't Vacuum Wave because Psychic Terrain. They protect Ursaluna, which is fine. Because Ursaluna doesn't do anything for the rest because it just goes down to Rock Slide. They go for Close Combat, which is smart, into Arcanine. They get good damage. Okay. If I miss, it's actually not terrible. Like, it would actually probably put me in an advantageous position because I click Expanding Force into Sneasler and just Rock Slide the right or the left slot, or maybe Flare Blitz even. Okay. All right, who are they bringing out next? Rillaboom. Yep, that makes sense. I think I just Rock Slide and Dazzling Gleam. If it's Volk, I still have Terra. Well, they have Terra too. That's a problem. And that Earth Power crit hurts so hard because having the resources would have been so valuable. Do I want a Rock Slide or... I don't know who did Grassy Glide, and I don't even know if it KOs the Espathra, and I can't even switch out Arcanine reliably. I think I just Rock Slide Dazzling Gleam, unfortunately. I don't really care too much about the Blood Moon. I need to get rid of Ursaluna, make sure it doesn't get a hit off. Grassy Glide, I go down above. Okay, wait, they fake out the Espathra. Is this Vacuum Wave? No shot. Please hit the Blood Moon. Okay. That I can manage. That I can manage. Okay. So Blood Moon Ursaluna's gone. Ideally, last Pokemon is... What would I want last Pokemon to be? Is it Volk? If it's D-Knight, I'm fine. It's Volk, yeah. I think I just gotta go King Gambit. I think I sack Espathra, right? Because I don't need Espathra to win the game. I want to confirm if it's Cobra Cloak, so I might as well. I think they're just going to Grassy Glide and Quiver Dance here. Maybe they Heat Wave, but I think the play here is to get damage into the Volcarona and have Intimidate so my Arcanine can live a Grassy Glide. If they do go for Heat Wave, it's not like terrible. I think Arcanine can help wall the Volcarona in endgame, but maybe I should have went for expanding. Actually, the Rock Slide miss might matter because I probably should have went for Lumina Crash into Rillaboom to always put in range of Terra Flying Terra Blast. Yeah, that might have been better. Let's see. King Gambit in. We used to Terrestrialization. That makes sense because I could hit it with Rock Slide. Oh, wait. What? Huh? That was not the play I expected. Okay. They Terra Fire here. Are they protecting? Yeah, okay. I understand it. They went for Protect Woodhammer. Okay. But I mean... Oh, they Grassy Glide. What? I'll take it. I was like, why would you do that when you could just... When... I was like, okay, they're going to take the knock on Arcanine by protecting and doing that. But, like... Alright. I thought they're going to tear it a Volk. Or, like, the Terrify made sense in case I Flare Blitz and they just hope that Rillaboom doesn't get Rock Slide if I go for that. But... Yeah, now I think we guarantee win, right? I think I just double up the Volcarona slot with Rock Slide plus Terra Blast. Or I Protect here to get an extra turn of Leftovers Recovery, which actually isn't that bad here. And I kind of like that more because they have to focus down to Arcanine. The Arcanine, I think, is way bigger of a threat at this point. And unless they burn my King Gambit, it's like not that bad of a situation. Because it is Intimidated Rillaboom, it shouldn't do too much. And Terra Blast should knock out Volcarona, assuming no Will-O-Wisp or no Heat Wave burn. Yep, they Grassy Glade my Arcanine, that makes sense. Is this Heat Wave? Perfect. So I should knock out Volcarona and that should seal the win here. Because King Gambit should be able to solo. Nice, no burn. Okay, Terra Blast comes out, KOs the Volcarona. Excellent. Yep, beautiful. All right, awesome. Huge turn. Huge turn. And then we can go for a Kowtow into the Rillaboom, and we can go for a Rock Slide. Nice. Like, even if we missed a Rock Slide, I don't even think it's that bad, realistically. Like, sure, they high horsepower my Arcanine, but again, what can they do to King Gambit at -1? Woodhammer crit's not enough. The grassy terrain turns are ending for them soon, so they won't even have priority. Like, I get like 2 Kowtows into a Sucker Punch, and like, yeah, it's like over at that point. Yeah, because it's the last one of grassy terrain, so they want to get like a Woodhammer crit, it's now. But even if they do, actually, yeah, I go for Sucker Punch always because I avoid the Woodhammer crit. But like, even before, like, the next, like, if they glide this turn, like, they still don't really able to do much, and I think I was doing way too much to them. And again, I'd have to probably be super extremely unlucky, but yeah. I think we're good there. Maybe I should close combat it with my Arcanine instead. I think close combat was better than Rock Slide, because if it's like this, I think close combat into 2 Kowtows even after that grassy terrain recovery, I think would have been enough. Otherwise, like, I still have Sucker Punch on deck, so like, yeah, they can't really win unless we want to play a fake out Sucker Mind game and they crit me. But yeah, those are like really bad odds for them. Golden Go, Sneasler, Rillaboom, Dragonite, Alolan Ninetales, and Arcanine. Isn't this the... I think this is the team that Justin Tang and Shilian Tang used to get top 16 at Toronto Regionals in the first Regulation H part, and then Justin Tang got top 4 at the Monterey Regional Championship with this. So it's like Grassy Seed, Golden Go, a Sulfest, Max Speed, Drum Beating Rillaboom, Wide Up Sneasler, Sash Ninetales, Tailwind Dragonite, and I don't remember what their Arcanine set was. Was it Goggles or was it Mirror Herb? I'll be interested to see. I think we have an interesting spot. King Gambit's really good against them. I mean, really good. I might be just leaning King Gambit Arcanine, which is really strong here, and I do like that a lot. My Dragon's not terrible in this, but I just don't know if I need it. I'd probably say no, because I kind of like the Espathra, and I like the Entity back, because it's decent into their own Sneasler. And, you know, I'm leading 2 Pokemon that are weak to Sneasler. I need 2 Pokemon in the back that ideally beat the Sneasler. So I think this is not too bad. Well, let's see what they decide to lead here. These are Dragonite, okay. Versus Hisui Arcanine and King Gambit. This is not Fake Out Sneasler, right? They do activate the Wider, but that's fine. I did intimidate the Dragonite, so it's not really doing too much damage. I kind of like the idea of just going for the Terra Blast into the Sneasler. Oh, if I Terra Blast, gold is probably fine if they don't knock out the Arcanine turn 1. Yeah, I think this is probably okay. I think I'm alright with going for Terra Blast here and just going for a Rock Slide. I think the Dragonite was Extreme Speed. I know they liked Extreme Speed Dragonite. I don't think it's Stomping Tantrum on this team. I guess we'll find out. But I really do like Terra Flying here on the King Gambit. And let's see if they close combat or coaching. They go for close combat into Arcanine, so that's smart of them. Oh, right. They're not intimidated, so that was a bad Arcanine play. That was a very bad Arcanine play. I completely forgot about the Wider. I was like, oh yeah, my Arcanine's safe here. No, it's not. No, it's not. I think this is fine, but it's like not super ideal. They get a 5-hitter too, so yeah, that definitely was not the best play by me. I should have went Entity and Flying Terra Blast. Because I'm pretty sure the Sneasler doesn't have Fake Outs. I didn't have to worry about like Fake Out coming out anyway. And like have to just go for attacks. I could have also protected, but I don't want to protect. I guess protect is fine. But I would have probably preferred switching out. We go out into Espathra here because we want offensive pressure to play a mind game. Golden Go going to come in, which is interesting. Okay. I don't know. Make It Rain's not doing that much damage. I think it's Terra Water Gold, which should be fine. I kind of want to double up the Dragonite. I don't know if the Golden Go is going to Shadow Ball this turn or if it's going to play aggressive, but I feel like the Protect on this Spaffra is super obvious. They could maybe go for Terra Water and attack, so maybe it's better to double up the gold, and I am debating about it. They might protect the gold though and just Tailwind. I think I'm just going to double up the Golden Go. I think Terra Water is coming out, and I think that's the case. Yeah, they do. Okay. Let's see. Did I get to play right of them nasty plotting and maybe like a tailwind here? Because I don't think they're shadow balling immediately. They do tailwind. Okay, I did get that right. But is this shadow ball or is this nasty plot? It is nasty plot. Okay, so this is good for me because then I threaten to sucker punch into the golden go always. So that's actually really good for me because I do get the Lumina crash into the golden go. That does a lot of damage actually. I don't think Kowtow's knocking it out though because this is a bulky golden go because it's grassy seed. It doesn't have grassy seed on deck, but yeah, it barely lives. All right. Now I can go for sucker punch into the gold. Or do I want to play a different mind game because gold could protect here? I mean, we're always in this weird limbo. Protect's obvious. I think the back Pokemon should be Rillaboom at this point. So I kind of had to get the call right here. Whether I sucker punch or not. I do sucker punch one of these slots. I just don't know which one. Is it gold or not? I could also Terraflying Terrablast a D-Knight if I expect to protect. I think I sucker punched the gold and I think I just Lumina crashed the D-Knight. They do retreat the D-Knight, so this might be Rillaboom, which is fine. Perfect. Did they attack aggressively or did they play defensively? Grassy Seed doesn't matter here. Okay, that's fine. This is actually works out pretty well, I'd say. I wish I Terra Blasted, but this is still a pretty good situation because I should be able to Expanding Force through their team now. I get Luna, crash off into the Rillaboom. And now I could switch into Indity, click Expanding Force, and I probably just threaten the Oko on everything. They have to double out Rillaboom into D-Knight, and even if they do that, it's not like that great for them. Yeah, so I'm going to go Indity, and I'm going to click Expanding Force. They retreat the gold, actually, into the Dragonite. Interesting, okay. So I don't mind that because I get the multi-scale broken. Oh, wait. I don't remember if Espathra's faster than max speed Rillaboom. We are +2 speed, but they're under Tailwind and they are max. But they can't KO us, right? Yeah, okay, we know we outspeed. Expanding Force will knock out the Rillaboom. Good damage to D-Knight. I think we win because we get another speed boost and now we can just Helping Hand Expanding Force and they can't stop us. So very happy. I got the crucial turns right and it did really matter. Like turn 1 could have gone way better. Let me just say turn 1 could have gone way better, but catching the gold and doubling it, like with Espathra, speed boost protect is super obvious and kind of knowing when to protect and when you got to go aggressive. Yeah, like Espathra was always outspeeding Rillaboom there, so no, Expanding Force was always super safe play. And I'm +3 there. Still have one more turn Tailwind, but Espathra outspeeds. I go for Helping Hand Expanding Force. Good game. They can't do anything. Yeah. Whew. All right. Very happy. Espathra, putting in the work. Putting in the work. Like, I played aggressive with the Lumina crashes and 100% worked. Like, oh, man. Definitely. Like, the Intimidate, even though Arcanine went down immediately, that Intimidate put in so much dividend because I was able to play more aggressive with Espathra because I knew they couldn't knock out Espathra without Shadow Balling. But to protect, again, is super obvious. So, could play aggressive there, and it just worked out amazingly. All right, we have, oh, this team, the Zine team. Rillaboom, Annihilate, Mousehold, Blood Moon, Ursaluna, Golden Go, Dragonite. I actually want to figure out this matchup because I'm like pretty confident I know what it is, but I'm not 100% certain. I think the combo I should lead is just Espathra plus Arcanine, which I think is really good against them in general. And then in the back, I think I just go with Indeedee for the Psychic Terrain. What's the last mon? Do I bring King Gamma or do I bring Sneasler? Because I'm not 100% sure. Like, I did play one of these earlier, but or like earlier in like my practice games, but like it's a bit scuff, I think, what I did. So I don't know. I think Hydreigon's not really worth it here. It's either King Gamma or Sneasler. King Gamma's better at switching into stuff, especially to gold. But that's only if I get rid of Annihilate. Sneasler's like puts on more offensive pressure under the Tailwind, and of course it's like better into the Blood Moon. but I can actually switch into Blood Moon with King Gambit. So I think I'm going to go King Gambit, although Sneasler is tempting. I think it's King Gambit though. It also has a scale shot switch, which I don't really have with this build right now. So yeah, let's see what they decide to lead, because I really do like the idea of just putting on some really good offense. But let's see. Dragonite Golden Go. Okay, interesting. Against Arcanine plus Espathra. What do they run on the Dragonite? Are they Terra Steel on these teams or Terra Fairy? I think it's Terra Steel. I could go for Flare Blitz expanding for, or not expanding for, Lumina Crash. Or do I just want to Rock Slide a Lumina Crash? I might just go for Rock Slide Lumina Crash. I think I'm going to go for it, because I also have a flinch chance if they do Terra and I get this play wrong, so I don't think it's too bad. I could go King Gambit too, which is a safe mid ground too, but I think they're going to just go for Protect with Gold and go Tailwind. I don't think they risk a gold here immediately to Flare Blitz, but we'll see. Maybe they go for Terra Water turn 1. But they would lose to D-Knight in exchange. We are going to see the Terastallization come out from the Golden Go. Okay, at least I have Rock Slide again as a potential. Oh, they changed the team. It's Terra Dragon now. Okay, that's not on the original. Is that bad for me? It's not like awful. Because if I deny Tailwind, it's nice, but oh, that did a lot less than I thought through multi-scale. Okay, is that bulky D-Knight? Because I feel like if it's just 4 HP D-Knight, it should have done a lot more. I get a big Rock Slide off. I get a Shadow Ball off to KO my Espathra, which is fine. Espathra, I mean, they already Terra, so they can't Terra Ape out of Terra Blast. For gold confirmed. Ooh, we do get the flinch, which is pretty massive, because I can go King Gambit and I threaten Sucker Punch and a Rock Slide now. And I will gladly go for that. So I'm going to go for Rock Slide Sucker Punch because it does KO the Golden Go. They'll probably Protect and sack the D-Knight, or maybe they go Annihilate, but I don't know if you risk the Annihilate here. They protected D-Knight. Ooh, wait, hold on. Do I get the KO on gold? I think I do. Sucker Punch Rock Slide would be really nice here. Sucker Punch. Yeah, I think Rock Slide KOs. We do connect. Okay. So goodbye Golden Go. Like, this was a safe play for me unless I wanted to cover for Annihilate switch, but I didn't really feel like that they were switching Annihilate there. So beautiful, because like I don't think you want to risk me clicking Swords Dance for free, but I'm surprised they saved the D-Knight. Like, I really thought Dragonite was going to go down here, but now they go Ursaluna. All right. I mean, this Pokemon's still a problem. I think I just go for rocks. But I want to do this. Last Pokemon I think is Rillaboom at this point. I feel like I just want to close combat, and close combat low kick makes a lot of sense here. Get the big damage into the Blood Moon Ursaluna and see if I can pull out this or pull out the win this way. I don't know if this KOs though. I think it should, but Blood Moon Ursaluna is bulky as heck. Like, it's really bulky. I also wasn't sure Dragonite was going to be preserved, but close combat going to come out into the Blood Moon. Yeah, that didn't do that much, as you can see. Like, it might live the low kick, unironically, which is pretty bad if it does. Ellen comes out. I mean, Blood Moon probably only clicked Earth Power, right? Unless he Blood Moon might Gambit, which is a good play at their part, but they go for Earth Power into the Arcanine, which is fine. Arcanine goes down, gets a critical hit, not that big of a deal. We KO though. If we KO, that's massive. If we don't, it's a little bit tricky. Okay, we do KO to Ursaluna. All right. Dragonite does go down to Sucker Punch, which is really good. I do get the Psychic Train up no matter what, because Rillaboom will outspeed because of the Tailwind. Yep, it is Rillaboom, so I should win the game guaranteed here. And well, not guaranteed, I suppose. Like, there's definitely ways I could get out, get this situation be a bit awkward yet. Actually, can it? I could follow me, right? I could follow me to Scale Shots. Nah, but we play mind games. I think they're gonna fake out the King Gambit Scale Shot. I think I just Psychic and I go for Terra Blast into the Rillaboom. You go for Scale Shot into Inity. Oh, are they doubling the Inity slot? Okay. No fake outs. Really interesting King Gambit. Are they going for the double up into Inity? I guess to prevent Trick Room. They are Miracle Seed, so the Wood Hammer would KO. The extra recoil though probably puts them in range of Terra Blast. Yeah, they went for the double. So Inity goes down, but I think because this Rillaboom, I don't think it runs as much bulk as like a standard Solfest because it's Miracle Seed. The Terra Blast should KO. Yeah, that recoil, especially with the Rocky Helmet, should allow me to guarantee KO the Rillaboom, and then I can Sucker Punch the Dragonite in the end game. Or I just kowtow realistically because there's no way to get 5 Scale Shot and crits at the same time. Which, does that even knock out King Gambit? I guess we'll find out. I'll do it for the content. Because if it does, like, that's an insane clip. But yeah, I'm just going to kowtow. Go for Scale Shot. Yeah, like as you can see, that damage. Maybe if they did crit all 5. Maybe if they did crit all 5. I don't know though. It's not looking like. I don't even think crit all 5 would have gotten. There's one crit. Yeah, that was 5 hits with a crit. I'm pretty sure that 5 crits was not knocking out my King Gambit, which is kind of insane on King Gambit's part. But goodbye, Dragonite. Beautiful. All right. A few different changes than what I'm used to, but a nice one of the 2 Rock Slide flinches. I was able to get the King Gambit in. King Gambit was still really tough for my opponent to deal with. Like, overall, I was just able to get huge amounts of damage utilizing Low Kick, Terra Blast. Like, it was pretty good at walling my opponent's team, especially with the Terra flying. Yeah, across the board was super strong. All right, we have the Dragonite, Blood Moon Ursaluna, Mousehold, Golden Go, Rillaboom, and Annihilate. What do I want to go here? Not 100% certain on this because I think the Zine team, again, as I mentioned before, can be fine, but I'm not 100% certain. Do I want to go? What do I want to go? Because I could do like Arcanine plus the Espathra, and I guess I can do that. Do I want to bring Sneasler? I think it's no. I think it's still Entity King Gambit, but I'm not 100% sure. All right, let's see. Let's see. Not 100% certain on this, but we'll find out. Dragonite Golden Go is an interesting lead. Okay. First is this spot for Arcanine. I get the Intimidate off into the Dragonite. I mean, I think my best play is probably just to switch out, go into King Gambit, and just click Rock Slide. Because I don't want to fall for a Shadow Ball play from the Golden Go. They might make it rain, but I think they either Nasty Plot, Terra Water, or they Protect even. I think it's just better to get a Rock Slide to break the Multi-Skill on Dragonite and just bring in my King Gambit. That's actually like heavily threatening the Golden Go. And it's like a good defensive pivot too. If I lose Arcanine, it's not like too bad, I suppose. Like, I'm pretty sure I live 1 Make It Rain from Life Orb Golden Go. So bring out the King Gambit. They do Terra, so I imagine this is Terra Water. This also helps with like Expanding Force later in the game. Yeah, they do go for the Terra. Yep. Terra Water, that makes sense to me. Unfortunately, I'm going to use my Mirror Herb probably, which is not great. It did Shadow Ball, so this is perfect. And Gambit eats it. Beautiful. Ellen. Okay, that's really good. That's really, really good. I don't know if they have the mouse in the back. I like the idea of just going for a Kowtow into Golden Go and I guess protect the Arcanine. I would want to keep Arcanine around. I think we protect Arcanine because I don't want to risk Scale Shot, make it rain, double up into that slot. Don't be Low Kick Dragonite. Okay, they Nasty Plot. I have a suspicion. It's not a good one. The Mirror Herb is funny. Oh, they just scale shot, which is an interesting play. Okay. I get a kowtow off, which is huge, into the golden go. How much does it do? Does this put in life orb range? No. Close, but no. All right. I used to always sucker the gold, and I don't want them bringing out Ape for free. But I think if they had Ape, they would have done that the last turn. I'm just going to Rock Slide. They protect gold, which makes sense. They might be trying to get a free switch to Rillaboom or Mouse Hold. Both make sense to me. But you go for the Sucker Punch. Like, the gold is just going to be a sitting duck if we get rid of the D-Knight too. Oh, they missed Scale Shot, but I wouldn't mind a Scale Shot hitting, because I think D-Knight lives the Rock Slide now. And I would have liked to get rid of the Tailwind option that they had. Yeah, I think I would have liked to get rid of the Tailwind option they had. All right. Is this that bad for me? No, not really. I still get a kowtow off into the golden go, and I can protect my Arcanine now. And because they didn't get the speed boost, I can now freely kowtow. I'm not sucker punching in case they go for nasty plot. I never go for that play. But yeah, we just kowtow. We'll probably be in an okay spot. We go for to make it rain. But as you can see, Assault's King Gambit is just like so good at tanking the golden go attacks. You go for Scale Shot again into the Arcanine. But I am able to KO the King Gambit and now I have a really nice position. Because if it is like, let's say, Annihilate Rillaboom back, I'm pretty sure that the combination of Arcanine plus the Espathra and Entity is really good here. So this is Annihilate. Oh, Mouse Hold. What? Mouse Hold can't do anything here. Are they Population Bomb? No way. Well, my play is just to always go for kowtow, right? It's always kowtow Rock Slide. Even if they have Ape back, I have Expanding Force with Helping Hand that just beats this. They go for Follow Me. That doesn't change anything, right? Because I get a Rock Slide off. What's their back? I'm trying to think. It's like, what's their back that they're going for this? I feel like if they had Annihilate, they would have tried to switch in Annihilate on a Rock Slide earlier. So is it Rillaboom? I crit. Not like it super changes the end game. I'm pretty sure they just lost to Espathra and Entity. But what's the last? It's Annihilate. Yeah, they would have just got blown up by Helping Hand Expanding Force in the end game. There wasn't much they can do. Maybe if like Dragonite dodged the Rock Slide, got Tailwind up, but even then, like I still have like really good chance of just winning. Because the Entity on my side could just redirect the attacks too. I can afford to stack the Rage Fist, so it doesn't matter. Did they Terrass? Yeah, they Terrassized the gold, so I don't have to worry about it. You go for Bulk Up, which is fine. Wait. Oh, we just speed tie, right? I was like, wait. Why is the Annihilate faster than my Arc? And then I realized, yeah, Hisuian Arc's a bit slower. It's a bit slower. Kowtow, good damage. But it doesn't matter. Like even if they Drain Punch again, I just bring in a Espathra. I click Terra Psychic, Expanding Force next to Entity. Like it's just over. Like even if they get all the Drain Punch recovery, like they can't do much. Like they're going for bulk ups to get recovery, but like, yeah, it doesn't really change that much. Is this KO? I get the burn 2 on top, but I still had the Psyspam mode in the back. They just weren't able to break through the Psyspam mode in time. Yeah, I KO with the burn 2. Like, I don't think it mattered. Again, Espathra was just needed 1 protect, and then it would have just blown up this Ape, so not that big of a deal. But yeah, like I think it's super tough. Like the King Gambit's really tricky for them. They have to always worry about the Psyspam mode, and Hisui Arcanine is actually really good against that pair, especially with the Mirror Earth to threaten the Annihilate, because if they lead Annihilate and try to Terra out of the weakness of the psychic. They get hit by the rock slide at +2, so it's really tough. All right, we have Incineroar, Blood Moon Ursaluna, Rillaboom, Golden Go, Sneasler, and the Alolan Ninetales. Okay. This was the team that won the regional, right? Yeah, this should be the team that won Frankfurt. So I could keep that in mind. They could have changed the sets, of course. It could be very different, but I'm kind of curious here on what am I supposed to do against this. Psyspam doesn't seem too bad. Yeah, it doesn't seem too bad. The Sneasler's wider? Yeah, it was wider. So if it's wider Sneasler, it's easier to handle. I feel like I just lead a Espathra plus Arcanine immediately. I feel like that's a pretty good combo. Do I bring the Psychic Terrain? I feel like the answer is no, right? I should bluff it, but I don't think I bring it. The reason I don't think I bring it is because I need ways to hit the Incineroar, and I think that's more important. So I think I just bring Hydreigon, and I think I bring... Or not Hydreigon, I think I bring King Gambit, which is good against Golden Go, and then I bring Sneasler, which is good against Incineroar. Let's see. Kind of curious on how this plays out, but we'll find out. We're going to see the lead of Ursaluna Ninetales. Okay, definitely different than what I expected. Versus Espathra Arcanine. How aggressive did they play turn 1? Are they going to Earth Power or are they going to Blood Moon immediately? I don't have a switch in. I do not have a switch in here. So I think my best play is probably just a Lumina Crash the Ursaluna. Dealing with this Ursaluna is going to be pain. Are they going to... I think they're going to Terra Electric in the following turns. Can I even break through this Ursaluna through Aurora Veil? This seems really bad. I don't know how you break through this Ursaluna through Aurora Veil. I need to break the Sash on the Ninetales, so I think I gotta go for Rock Slide. Maybe I get a flinch too. They go for a Terra, and this might be Terra Electric, which is fine. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna give them a Mon, because I think I need to in order to establish some kind of momentum. I do think that this is always Aurora Veil plus either Blood Moon or Earth Power. I just don't know which one. Oh, they went for Icy Wind turn 1? Wait, I don't think Blood Moon... Does Blood Moon outspeed? You need a lot of speed to outspeed both. Yeah, okay. I get a Lumina Crash off. That's huge damage. Wow, that did more than I expected. Rock Slide connects. That's huge. Okay. A Blood Moon my Arcanine because they read a Switch or a Terra, but I can't. I literally can't. I literally can't go for that because if I do that, I literally just... My Earth Power switches. I think they read maybe Entity coming in and Protect. I think that's a very fair play. I think this works out huge for me though. Because I can go for Lumina Crash and I can go for Flare Blitz. They're going to get Aurora Veil up, but that's fine. They're going to switch out Incineroar. Yeah, I should have maybe Rock Slided, but that's fine. I should still KO Ninetales, right, with Flare Blitz? I hope I do. You're going to get... No Aurora. Oh wait, it wasn't Aurora Veil on this team. I keep forgetting because I'm mixing up teams. Yeah, it's not Aurora Veil Ninetales on this team. I completely forgot. Oh, that's a mistake. I do KO the Ninetales though, so it's not like too bad. I did take a lot of damage response, but my position's good. My position's really good. Like compared to what it could have been. I thought I was just gonna get stopped by Aurora Veil, but I completely forget that this team didn't run Aurora Veil. Ursaluna coming in. I mean, I just protect the Espathra, right, and go for... I think I Rock Slide because I want the damage. They retreat Ursaluna, which is fine. They were baiting an attack, it looks like. Maybe to me going for a Lumina Crash so they could KO. Rillaboom comes in. That's fine. I get a free hit into the Incineroar. Like, I think they're really overthinking this, but me and my bird brain right now is just like, okay, I'm just going to stay in attack because, like, I don't have any switches that I can do. They go for Fake Out into Espathra, which is perfect. I think they read my Entity switch and me expanding forcing, but did not work out for them. Because I do get a Rock Slide into the Rillaboom and the Incineroar for good chip. Do I need these Pokemon? I don't think so. I think King Gambit plus Sneaser's in a really good position to win. I just got to think about like how do I want to set this up. I think I always go Arcanine for the King Gambit slot and Espathra gets sacked here, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think that's the play. I think I'm going to go for Lumina Crash into the Rillaboom and go into King Gambit. I don't know if they knock off my Arcanine, but I could definitely see like Grassy Glide into Arcanine, knock off Espathra. I could see Parting Shot coming out for a slot. Yeah, they do Grassy Glide, but it was my Arcanine because it is the biggest offensive threat. That makes sense to me. They get a crit, not that big of a deal. Unless they went for a Flare to sell up, and they made a really good call. Get a Lumina Crash off. Cool. And Parting Shot. Okay, so this works. Do I live Earth Power? I mean, I'll live Blood Moon, that's for sure. I think my best play is just a Terra Blast a Rillaboom slot, if I'm not mistaken. I guess if the Ursaluna gets a lot of recovery, it's kind of annoying, but granted, they don't have Hyper Voice. They can only go... Yeah, I think this is alright. If they Woodhammer Blood Moon my King Gambit and that knocks out, crazy call. Actually, I should just go Arcanine because I'll live a Grassy Glide anyway. And I can go for a Terraflying Terra Blast. If they switch into Rillaboom, it's alright too. Or if they switch into Instant for the fact that I don't KO Rillaboom, I think it works out fine. Because like the only way they get priority to KO Espathra is through Rillaboom. So if I get rid of Rillaboom, this works. So I'm making sure Blood Moon Woodhammer is never an option to KO King Gambit. I'm pretty sure I'll live Woodhammer into Blood Moon now. Onto the King Gambit. So that's why I went into Arcanine. I'll also live a Grassy Glide. They go for the Grassy Glide, so that works perfectly. We get the Terraflying Terra Blast ready. They go for high horsepower into King Gambit. Beautiful. Blood Moon or Earth Power? Double. Nice. Now I get in with the Terra, but I felt like this was the optimal Terra anyway. We go for the Terra Blast. We KO the Rillaboom. Take the knockout. Excellent. We get a crit. That doesn't matter because that would have KO'd anyway. And now they're bringing out Incineroar. Do I ever switch out for any reason? I don't think so, right? I think I just attack. Yeah, I just attack. There's no reason to switch ever. And there's no reason to protect. I just play aggressive. Incineroar is in range of close combat from Sneasler, I imagine. With Adamant Sneasler? No shot. The Incineroar lives. Like, I just gotta negate the leftovers recovery. Yeah, so I go for a Flare Blitz into the Ursaluna, and I go for Kowtow into Ursaluna. No protects. Are they going for Blood Moon Flare Blitz double up? Which I respect. They go for an... Oh, knock off Blood Moon. That's smart too. I completely forgot they could knock off Blood Moon. Good play. Should have suckered. Should have suckered. That's fine still. Yeah. I think as long as I keep Flare Blitzing though, and I close combat the Instant, because the Instant doesn't have Protect. The Incineroar better be in range of close combat from Max Attack Sneasler, but I imagine it always is. Yeah, so we go out into Sneasler, we click close combat into the Incineroar, and we Flare Blitz. Flare Blitz, close combat, take the knockout into Incineroar. They can only Blood Moon and Earth Power. That's kind of like the one weakness of like this Ursaluna set, is that they can only target one mon at a time, and if you get the calls right, or like you have more mons because you're up, it can be a little bit hard to come back. So close combat is able to knock out the Incineroar. Blood Moon can take a knockout, but no matter what, I'm pretty sure that I'm good here. Flare Blitz. More damage to Ursaluna. Again, we're just negating the leftovers and the Grassy Terrain recovery. And they're going to go for Earth Power to KO my Sneasler. And now we just bring in the Espathra, and Espathra of Lumina Crash and Flare Blitz should KO. I think. We did like how much last time? We did a ton. Oh, I guess Ursaluna could protect, so maybe it was better to switch out the Arcanine. I don't know. I don't think you get enough recovery. Yeah, especially since the Grassy Terrain disappeared. I think like it's... Yeah, I don't think you get enough recovery. Maybe if you get like multiple protects. The thing is, I'm guaranteed 2 Flare Blitz into a Lumina Crash at least. Or if you ignore the Espathra for some reason, like I get like 2 Lumina Crashes, which guarantee makes you lose the game. They're going to protect to get the leftovers recovery. I think they need to go for multiple protects. Because based on the Lumina Crash damage we saw previously, like there's no way that they are able to hang on from the Lumina Crash and the Flare Blitz. Because Flare Blitz was doing like 25. Or maybe it was like 20, but like no matter what, like as long as we get the KO on Ursaluna with 2 Flare Blitz plus the Lumina Crash, even through the lefties, we should be all right. We Flare Blitz and Lumina Crash. Should do like 45. Yeah, okay, yeah. Flare Blitz is definitely KOing the Ursaluna, I think. What? How many protects did they need? Like 3? Maybe 3 protects? They need 3 more protects, right? So they need like a quadruple. Yeah, like it was just pretty unlikely that they were going to be able to win that one. I think like, again, there wasn't much there for me to do. I had to play aggressive because, well, one, I thought it was Aurora Veil. It's not Aurora Veil, so the matchup's a lot easier because it's not Aurora Veil. But across the board, I was just able... They went for the committal turn 1. It did not work out for them. I had no Earth Power switch in the back. They read me maybe to Terra Water, go Entity. I can't really Terra Water in that matchup, I feel, because if I Terra Water, the Rillaboom Grassy Glide is just so bad for me. I guess I do have Sneasler and King Gambit still, but I wasn't too sure. There was a risk that they could take. I thought maybe they could go for Yawn, they could go for Blood Moon. There's just like so much that they could do there. Like I really thought Earth Power was coming out, but because it was Blood Moon, because they overread, I was able to put myself in a great spot. All right, we're gonna see the Alolan Ninetales, Blood Moon Ursaluna, Annihilate, Mousehold, Klefki, and Sinistra. I actually have seen this scene before. It was used in World Cup by Michael the Best, and he also used it in the Global Challenge. How do I know that? I actually faced him in the Global Challenge. If you want to see that match, it is probably either on the bonus channel by now, or it is coming soon on a bonus channel. Okay, they don't have a good Psyspam combo, but they do have Misty Terrain on the Klefki, so that's something I gotta keep in mind. I think I always just lead Arcanine. Arcanine's really good offensively here. Was it Terra Normal on the Ursaluna? I think it was. I think I go Sneasler, Arcanine lead. I don't think I'm bringing Gambit. I think I'm just going to go full Psyspam offense here and just draw off attacks aggressively, and I think that'll be fine. I'm willing to do that too because I think it's the best one. The Ninetales doesn't have Aurora Veil. It's just screens. I need to get a Klefki immediately, which is kind of weird to sound, but yeah, I have to get a Klefki immediately. So I'm going to go for Flare Blitz, and I'm going to go for Close Combat. They're going to go for a... I don't think they tear the Klefki in this, because they got to be worried about the Ursaluna. I think they just Reflect here. And if I KO Klefki, that means no Light Screen, no Misty Terrain. That means Psyspam can set up nicely. They're on the Blood Moon? Yeah. What type were you? Terra Water. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I wasn't sure if it was Terra Normal or Terra Water, but yeah, that works out perfectly fine. Assuming I KO Klefki with Close Combat Flare Blitz, which I imagine I do. I'm pretty sure Flare Blitz should get them at that range. They don't have a Rillaboom. They already used their Terastization, so Annihilate, if it's in the back, can't go for Terra. I mean, this seems solid. I just need Chip on the Ursaluna now. Go for Earth Power and a Sneasler. Perfect. That's cool. We go out into our Espathra to get the speed boost. Is Ninetales coming in? Mousehold. Interesting. I don't think this Mousehold had Faint if I remember correctly. I mean, I'm just going to click Rock Slide and I'm going to click Protect because I want Arcanine to go down. Just don't have Faint and we're good. They have Faint. This is bad. I mean, I could go Entity, but I don't think that's worth it. Actually, maybe I should have gone Entity. But then again, I am worried about Population Bomb. But yeah, free Rock Slide for Chip and then bring in Entity Helping Hand plus a Expanding Force looks really good here. Or I just follow me Expanding Force, which also works against their team. And that might be better, actually. Protect. A Taunt, which is fine. Get a free Rock Slide. Chip. I flinch. Okay. Not even good for me. I don't even know if that's good for me. I should go Entity, click Expanding here. I think it's Friend Guard Mouse. Do they protect? I guess we're just gonna Rock Slide again and go Entity. They're gonna taunt the Espathra from Blood Moon, right? This doesn't look too hot. We got the Entity. They follow me, which is fine. The thing is, if they went for Blood Moon instead of Protect, that also worked out really well for me because then they wouldn't be able to KO the Espathra, so I could have just went for Expanding Force. Now I have to take a Blood Moon, which is not ideal. I turn a Taunt, 4 turns of Psychic Terrain. Yeah, this is tricky. It's doable, but it's like not easy. Maybe I've got enough damage into Ursaluna to put in range of the attack though, but I need to get rid of the mouse since it's Friend Guard. I thought it was Population Bomb, but I never saw the mouse, I guess, so we'll see. They could protect the Mousehold, which would be a very fair play too. Yeah, that's a fair play. Should have went for a Rock Slide, but I guess it's acceptable. Man, this is super spooky of a situation. I went for Hyper Voice. Which Arcanine does take pretty well. Okay. We shake off the Taunt. Which doesn't really matter too much. I think I'm just going to go for a Rock Slide and I'm going to go for Psychic into the Mousehold because I'm going to punish an Annihilate switch if they decide to take advantage of the Rage Fist boost. So I'm going to go for Psychic because like Mousehold can't do much, right? Unless this is Friend Guard Population Bomb. But we saw Super Fang, we saw Taunt, and we saw Protect. So and we saw Follow Me, so it can't. Yeah. We're going to retreat the Mousehold and this is into Annihilate. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. I do get a free Psychic plus a attack off. Please hit the Ursaluna. Why is it the one I want to hit? Okay. Psychic. Doesn't KO the Annihilate, but that's good damage. They go for Hyper Voice. Okay. I mean, I might still be fine, but granted, I don't think this is that great of a position now. Oh, wait, the Annihilate outspeeds me, and I only have a few turns of Psychic Terrain left. Yeah, this position became really bad. In fact, I just gotta hope Flare Blitz KOs the Arcanine at this range, and that's exactly what I have to, unfortunately. Okay. I should KO even to reflect. Yeah, okay, perfect. I KO Annihilate, that's massive. Did they Earth Power or did they Blood Moon? I wouldn't be surprised if they just went for the Blood Moon. Perfect. And because they Blood Moon, they can't go for it again into the Espathra. So now I get a Rock Slide, Expanding Force off. And that will KO the mouse if it stays in. But I don't know. It might not be enough. Let me think about this. I mean, I'm always clicking Rock Slide and Terra Psychic Expanding Force, right? They either Hyper Voice or Earth Power. I guess Hyper Voice want to knock up the Arcanine, so I'm still probably in an okay spot. The Mousehole took Chip already, so it probably goes down to Terra Psychic attack from my Espathra. The thing is, they're going to protect Mousehold always. They're going to attack with the Blood Moon. I don't know if they're clicking Hyper Voice or if they're clicking Earth Power. I think you would click Earth Power, but I guess then we're playing a mind game, right? Of when do you Blood Moon? Because I can protect the style at the Blood Moon. Yeah, I think that's just what it's going to come down to. I mean, you always click Follow Me, plus, I'd say you click Earth Power here. Because if you click Hyper Voice, that's a throw, right? Because if you Hyper Voice, then I still have my Arcanine around, and then I think you just always lose. Let's see, Terra Psychic here. Yep, it's always Protect. If we do get the Rock Slide flinch, though, as well, that could get us back into the game, too. Or at least make it more likely we win. Without having to play the Blood Moon mind games. Okay, so here is the Expanding Force. Oh, we got a big crit. Wait, that's a big crit. That's a big crit. Okay. Big Rock Slide. Enough. Wait. Why would you Hyper Voice there? I think if you Hyper Voice, you just guarantee lose, because then Follow Me comes out. I mean, there is the Vacuum Wave, I suppose, but do you just lose off that? It's the last time Reflect, right? Yeah, it is. You have Faint? No, you don't have Faint. I stall out the last one to Reflect with a double Protect, and I Rock Slide, Lumina Crash, the Ursaluna always. Unless the mouse actually has like an attack like Population. No, we saw its full moveset, right? Super Fang, Follow Me, Taunt, Protect. Yeah, it doesn't have an attack move that can affect me in time. Follow Me. I also have Dazzling Gleam as well. Vacuum Wave. How healthy is my Espathra again? Reflect wears off. Oh yeah, I'm perfectly fine. Yeah, I go for a Rock Slide and I go for a Lumina Crash. Did I go for Dazzle? Do I think Mousehold lives the Lumina Crash? I don't think it does. Actually, no. You Dazzle here always if you're me, because they can only Vacuum Wave, right? They can only Vacuum Wave to take a knockout. Yeah, they're going to go for Follow Me. They're going to go for Vacuum Wave and Arcanine. Then I get a Dazzle into the Ursaluna, so I don't even have to risk, like, does Terra Psychic Lumina Crash KO Mousehold? But if it does, I think the game is sealed, because I don't think Vacuum Wave would be enough to KO, but we're not finding that out today because I get a guarantee one. Okay, they didn't protect. Okay, I go down to life orb. Wait, do I KO? You know, maybe I underestimated Friend Guard, Blood Moon, Ursaluna with Assault Vest. All I had to do was click the Lumina Crash, didn't I? I was like, oh, Dazzling Gleam always KOs there, right? And then Lumina Crash, like, Lumina Crash probably KOs Mousehold, but, like, I guarantee if I KO the Blood Moon, right? Because if they Super Fang, I always live, no matter what, right? Yeah. Should have went for Lumina Crash. Should have went for Lumina Crash into Ursaluna, I guess. Espathra. Why? Why do you do this to me? So how was the team? It's definitely an interesting team. It's very different from anything I've piloted, really, because of the fact that like it's not like your standard toolkit at all. You really have some different mods. I mean, sure, you have like some concepts on the offensive side, right, with Sneasel or Espathra. I do have the Intimidate on the Hisui Arcanine, but it feels very different from playing like an Incineroar, like a support Arcanine, or even a more offensive like Choice Band Arcanine. Definitely some stranger tools, but they did work well together. And yeah, we were able to see in a lot of cases, yeah, it puts in a lot of work. We also showcased that Espathra, while it's really strong on its Psych type moves, Dazzling Gleam is still a little bit of a weak move, and I was expecting a little bit more out of it, especially missing that knock on the Blood Moon or Saluna. But there is a reason why it's not as high special attack, because it would actually really be really broken. But if you would like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. If you'd like to try out the team for yourself, there is a rental code on your screen. Hopefully it's still available by the time the video comes out. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.